Can you hear me properly?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, good. Perfect, perfect. I've started recording the conversation just so you're aware. Um,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. How you doing, man?
Not bad, thank God. It's going on fine.
Yeah. How's work? Has it been
Ah,
much of that lately?
sorry?
Work, how's work going?
Yeah, work is going on fine. Trying our best with this
Yeah,
coronavirus period.
exactly, exactly.
Finding a way around it.
Yeah. Are you using headphones?
Okay, no, okay. All right, let me. My phone is on speaker. Let me just okay, hold on, please.
Yeah. Just so your voice is clearer.
Okay, all right, great. Okay, all right. Can you hear me better now?
That's much better. Yes.
All right, great. All right.
Yeah, good stuff. Um, so first of all, thanks for actually agreeing to do this. I know you were like, I don't
No.
want to do a live conversation, but and of course I had to think about it because I think I asked you maybe last month about this, and of course it's taken a while for
Yeah,
me to actually get around to record the conversation. So I
yeah.
think what I decided was that we'll try to do something like this that's audio. I think it makes everyone feel
Okay.
comfortable. And
No, you actually didn't, you actually didn't need to change it. Reality is that I on a normal day I don't enjoy, like as you said, live stuff. But reality is that that's something that one has to deal with, because on some occasions you need to do live. You have to go to you have to have a meeting with someone, and it's going to be live.
mm,
So whether it's not really about whether you like it or not, it's just something you need to do. So it's part of life. So
absolutely,
it's not really about,
absolutely,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, I agree with that
yeah,
completely. And that's the right attitude. And I knew that's what you were thinking as well. But I think just
yeah.
for consistency, I think there's some people who are just like, no, I don't do a live thing,
No. I do it.
which is fair.
I
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do it because sometimes you need to be you need to do a live interview and all that kind of thing. So it's you need to do it. It's something that needs to be done. So whether you like it or not, you do it. In life, it's not
yeah.
always about what you feel comfortable doing. It's just what you need to do. So
We
yeah,
have to do
that's
exactly,
it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only reason was I'm not sure you can record Instagram live feed, right? So once it goes live, it's
Okay.
live, and once it's done, I think it kind of
Yeah.
disappears after a while. So I wanted to make
Yeah.
sure that, of course, we can record this and put it on the podcast because this is also
Okay.
the podcast that I do. So I
Okay.
think it kind of makes sense across the board. But next
Okay.
time, I interview you, I'll make sure it's a live thing so I can make you as uncomfortable as possible.
Yeah. No problem. Thanks a lot,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, no worries, no worries. Um, so I know you studied engineering. What sort of engineering was it?
Mechanical engineering.
Mechanical engineering. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah. Yeah. It was fun to an extent. Reality is that it should have been much more fun. But
Mm,
with the way our educational system is in Nigeria, like mechanical engineering is supposed to be something that should be extremely practical. But
right.
anyways, over here in Nigeria, it's not really practical. It's more of theoretical kind of thing. So you
Yeah.
have to do all the imagination. You have to do the research, kind of imagine what they're talking about, learn and stuff like that. So it was fun for me. I tried to make the best out of it. But
Absolutely.
definitely, if I got the opportunity to have the practical background, man, it would have been a whole lot of fun for me, much more fun for me. But even though I didn't get that opportunity, but I made the best out of it, and I still had fun in it.
Absolutely. I think that's the right attitude because I remember because when I was in high school in Nigeria, I remember it clicked with
Yeah,
me that it's important to express yourself creatively, but and I mean
yeah,
that in the sense that you have to be able to know what you know and don't be afraid to express that practically or
yeah,
theoretically. Because in Nigeria, it's about passing the next test, right? It's like, okay, read this
yeah,
stuff, then pass the next test.
exactly.
And I was like, no, I'm not learning anything like this. I need to actually I need to actually read something, maybe understand it. That'll be nice, and then
Yeah,
use my imagination to do something with that information
yeah,
in the real world. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
so
yeah, definitely.
how long was your degree in Nigeria in mechanical engineering?
In what sense?
Like the course, the duration of the course.
Oh, okay,
So is it
5 years.
yeah,
It was a
5 years?
5 year course.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
5 years. Yeah.
And I think soon after that, sorry, go on.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you have a 1 semester industrial training in
Mm-hmm.
between. So yeah, so basically 5 years. Then you have like, is it about 6 months industrial training?
Okay, okay. Um,
Yeah.
was the industrial training useful?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. It was definitely useful. I got the opportunity to see some things which I just only read about in books. And for me as a person, I'm someone that part of the major reason why I wanted to do mechanical engineering was because I like doing things practically. I like seeing things. I like understanding how things work
Right.
and stuff like that. So when I went for industrial training, I got the opportunity to see the machines, to actually do practical stuff, which is what I actually love doing. So yeah, for me, that those 6 months were
Mm.
like really really good for me. Yeah, I got the opportunity to see some practical stuff and get my hands dirty doing stuff and things like that. So it was fun for me.
Good stuff. So it was basically you were able to do stuff that you couldn't do at the university, basically. Because like you said, yeah,
Definitely, exactly.
that's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
So I
So
basically worked in a factory.
oh
So
really? Okay,
basically I was a factory worker. Yeah, so I basically was a factory worker. It was not that I was doing some admin work. No, I was getting my hands dirty, seeing how the machines worked, operate partially to an extent some machines
yeah,
and things like that. So yeah, it was cool. It was cool.
that's cool. Um, so to that, I guess you had the
Hello.
opportunity to either do a master's or start your own business. What decision did you take and why?
Okay. So the whole thing of me being an entrepreneur came about in this way. So basically, I finished school. I finished
Mm-hmm.
my undergraduate degree, and I did my youth service.
Yeah,
I think he was doing my youth service. My dad asked me and asked me, "Mayokun, what would you want to do?" The normal thing, the norm in our family is that after you do your undergraduate degree in Nigeria, you go for a master's abroad and things like that.
right,
But
right.
with the experience of my other siblings,
Mm-hmm.
after they finished school, they went abroad, did a master's program, came back to Nigeria.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When he came back to Nigeria, it was difficult getting a job, right?
Interesting.
And like in Nigeria, it's actually difficult when you finish school to actually get that kind of job you actually want. So
Yeah.
my my immediate elder sister, she went for a master's, came back from abroad, and it took her about 8 months before she got a job. So my dad was
Right.
like, Michael, really, would you want to go for a master's or would you want to start a business? Basically,
Mm.
the money that will be used for your master's degree, we can use that to start up a business. So which would you prefer?
Mm-hmm.
And reality is that me as a person, I've never been this kind of person that loved school. And I guess it was also because of the kind of
Interesting.
educational system we had in Nigeria. So for me, that was an
Okay.
escape route to not to have to go behind go into the school setting. So for me, it was an escape route. But even beyond that, actually, I wanted to do something practical. So yeah, so
Yeah,
for me, it
yeah,
was an
yeah.
opportunity to do something practical. So it's something I never dreamed of going to sit in an organization, sit behind the desk, and just be
Right.
behind my computer and all of that kind of thing. So for me, I felt okay, it's going to be an opportunity for me to use my hands, make use of my creativity and stuff like that. So definitely I delved into the opportunity.
Mm. Well, so I remember we came to your house once, right? And you were I don't know if you remember this. You were the only one at home, and I remember you had loads of books. Yeah, you were. I think you were studying for an exam or something. And when I saw it, I was just like, "This guy is
Okay.
something else." Like I didn't understand it. I was like, Like this guy's working really hard, and I
Yeah,
think we're still kids then. I don't know if you remember this, but I remember you had like stacks of books, and we came to see you guys obviously, and we said hi, but no one was home for
yeah,
you. Then we left, and that to this day I still think
yeah.
about that. Like is Michael like a workaholic? Is he what sort of kid were you? Did you like you said you didn't really enjoy school, but
um,
what was it that that drove you in terms of your education? What were you trying to achieve? Like,
so
what sort of
I
kid
didn't
were you?
get the last part. What you said.
Um,
Okay. I was some. I was a very playful person, a very playful
mm,
kid, right?
mm,
But I lived with my parents, and there were people that felt education was extremely important, and
yeah, yeah.
my mom was always, you should be reading your book. If you're not reading your book, you should be sleeping. Read, sleep, read, sleep, read, sleep. That kind of thing. So I didn't have a choice. So it was
Right,
always from school to having one form of home lesson, and it was always read, 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 that kind of thing.
right.
But my natural self, I was a playful person, and I think my mom is not. I think my mom knew that Mayokun had the tendency to be an extremely playful person, and if you're not careful, Mayokun would not read his books and he would not make anything out of his life. All he would do is play football, play sports and stuff like that. So I guess that's why my mom, I guess my own case was different from my other siblings, because my other siblings, my mom was not as strict with them in terms of you have to read your book, you have to read. Yeah, she was like that with all of us, but mine was on another level
Exceptional.
because she always knew that if I was sitting at home, even if the television was not on, there was nothing going on, I could
Yeah.
find something to do to play with myself. Even if it's for me to get a counter, and I don't know whether I remember something we used to call table soccer. I'll play table soccer with
Of
myself.
course. Really?
I always knew how to entertain myself. I did not need to have a single soul near me. I'll find a way to entertain myself. So my mom knew that if I'm not hard on this guy would just be a no hopper. So she
Oh
had to be
wow.
hard on me. Yeah. Yeah.
So do you think you benefited from that tough love, or did you? Because
No,
you're an
no,
entrepreneur,
definitely.
and entrepreneurs have to be disciplined, but entrepreneurs are also creative and playful and imaginative. So how do you think you turned out? I mean, you're still very young, but how do you think you turned out?
It turned out very well because definitely, as I said, if my mother left me to do what I wanted, I don't think I would have really made anything out of my life. So, I
Oh
actually
wow.
needed that tough love. I needed that discipline, that iron hand to Mayoko, you must read, you must make something out of your life. And yeah, eventually I got to understand the deal. I understood that really, 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 I need to make something out of my life. I can't just play around with my life and stuff like that. So definitely was helpful, but that playful part of me is still in me, and I guess
Yes.
that's part of that. That's what's also helping me out in being an entrepreneur, because
Yeah.
I like doing stuff. I like experimenting. Like making use of my hand, and I like doing new things and stuff like that. So definitely, yeah, that playful part is still in me, and that's what helps me to like. I can try different things. What new thing can I come up with? But also, if I didn't have the educational background, definitely I would not have known what I know today and all that kind of thing. So yeah, it was definitely helpful.
Awesome, awesome. I think the discipline was a huge part because I think as an entrepreneur you have to be disciplined with your time because
Yeah,
no one is going to pay your bills
definitely.
but you, right?
Exactly.
Exactly. So yeah.
Exactly. Very
So
important. Yeah.
yeah. So you become an entrepreneur. What sort of entrepreneur are you? What industry do you work in?
So basically, I'm into the packaging aspect of entrepreneurship. Basically, we are into packaging for clothing. We make
Okay.
things like suit carrier bags. We make
Mm-hmm.
wedding carrier bags. We make garment
Mm-hmm.
bags. We make shopping bags. We also
Yeah.
make things like shoe bags. We make wig bags, and we also have our own products. We have laptop bags. We have um, bags for tablets. We have
Mm.
some creative products like a product lab desk. We have something that we call a chow mat and a couple of other products. So yeah, that's basically
So it's heavy
And
manufacturing basically.
also very important, yeah, manufacturing. And also there's also an aspect of business. We manufacture nails.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about female, I mean nails that people fix on their hands and stuff for construction.
Yes, yeah.
When you want to
Construction
join
nails
to
basically.
yeah, yeah, construction nails. So yeah,
Mm.
yeah, so that's what we do. Yeah.
So it's heavy manufacturing work. Do you have a factory? Do you outsource? Like, what? How does it work?
We have a factory. Everything we do, as I mentioned earlier, I'm someone that likes being practical. So
Yeah.
we have a factory. We have a factory which produces all these various products. We have a factory that manufactures nails. We have the factory which is makes basically does the packaging and creates the bags and stuff like that. So yeah, we actually
Mm.
manufacture ourselves.
Mm. So you've done this for how many years now?
This is going to the 8th year. In
8 years.
August,
Wow.
that will make 8 years. Yeah,
So that's 2012 basically.
yeah, 2012. Yeah, right.
Wow. Wow. So what has the entrepreneurial journey been like? I think aside from what's happened recently with COVID, we all know Nigeria
Yeah,
is a fascinating place.
yeah.
And exactly. Um, I mean, take me through the first few years because obviously you had to start out, and that's not easy.
Mhm.
How did that
Yeah.
go? The first few years.
Um, yeah, it it's been quite an interesting experience. Okay, as I told you earlier, a mechanical engineer, and when
Mm-hmm.
I started out, all that my mind was on was in terms of manufacturing, and
Right.
I didn't have that real background to really know that, okay, business is far beyond just the manufacturing. Manufacturing is extremely important, but there are things that, in terms of keeping records of what you're doing, you're making expenses, all those expenses need to be properly accounted for, recorded
Yeah.
properly, and basically your activities, managing processes and stuff like that. So when I started out, I was just more of this practical person. I spent all my time in the factory, getting my hands dirty, getting things done, trying to understand how the machine works. And basically, I was just at the factory doing stuff and all of that. But beyond the manufacturing, you also have to do marketing, you have to get customers and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I just put my whole head in the manufacturing aspect, but forgetting that there is a part of sales, there's part of marketing, there is a part of managing processes, managing people and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I I just started off in terms of getting my hands dirty. But
Yeah.
when we started, yeah, in Nigeria, it's actually quite very much challenging because and manufacturing in particular, it's extremely challenging. Why? Because basically everything you use in manufacturing, you have something that we call raw materials, whatever material you're using to start the process of production and all of that. So basically, raw materials are really not available as such in Nigeria. So basically, every
Really.
raw material that you use, yes, yeah,
Mm.
basically every raw material that you use for production is imported from abroad. There is, I
Okay.
guess, I guess is as bad as 90% of raw materials that are used in production in Nigeria is gotten from
So
abroad. So you
so
basically, yeah.
so when you say raw materials, what specifically? Because I mean, my mind is blown right now because I know that we're a mineral rich nation, so that seems quite a complex notion for
Okay.
me. So what sort of things do you actually import? What sort of raw materials do you import?
Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to manufacture nails, you need a steel coil wires. It's basically
Mm.
steel wires, basically, and basically most of it, before our current situation, most of it was being imported from abroad.
Mm.
But right now we have companies which actually produce it. but
Hmm.
reality is that they are more of Chinese owned or Indian owned companies. So it's
Companies.
not
Right.
they are not Nigerians actually running the business as such. It's actually more like a Chinese run or an Indian run manufacturing company, and there are few of them that actually produce it. So even the people
Mm.
that bring in the raw material are these same Chinese and Indians, because if you want to bring in steel coil wires, it's really capital intensive. And that's a
Yeah.
lot of money. Definitely for
Yeah.
some, a startup business, you cannot afford to say you're bringing in such raw materials and stuff like that. So it's either you're
Mm.
buying from the Indians or you're buying from the Chinese. So basically, they are the ones controlling the price of the raw material you're getting
The
and
supply
stuff
chain,
like that.
basically.
Yeah, they
Mm.
basically control the supply chain and all of that. And also, okay, even if you want to get textile, the reality is that most of the textile still not produced in Nigeria. We are importing it from different countries. So basically, anything you want to produce, if you're talking about the starting point of whatever it is you want to produce, it actually is imported from abroad.
Mm.
Anything, yeah.
Mm.
So
Mm.
that's a
Oh,
major challenge for us over here in Nigeria. And um, I think the
so
most challenging. Okay, all right, I'm with you.
no, sorry, go on, go on.
Yeah, and the most challenging aspect of manufacturing in Nigeria, as everybody knows, is power supply. Because
Yes.
if you want to manufacture anything, you need some form of power. Even if you have a small machine, it's going to be you need power supply to run that machine. So basically, we know the condition of Nigeria. Basically, there's hardly any power supply. So as a result of that, it means you're making use of generators, whether you're
Yeah.
using a diesel generator, a petrol generator, then obviously you have to fuel it and all of that kind of thing. So already the cost of your production has already gone up astronomically, just in the
Yeah.
sense that you have
Yeah.
to invest in buying a generator, you have to invest in buying diesel or fuel to run your generator, then you also have to maintain your generator. So by the time you factor that in, before you've even started manufacturing, the cost of whatever it is you're going to produce has already gone up astronomically. So those two points I just brought out are a major challenge for manufacturer any manufacturer in Nigeria. Yeah.
So how do you even begin to tackle such problems, right? Because like you said, your business is 8 years old.
Yeah.
Um, I'm sure that manufacturing companies have existed for maybe over 50 years. Aside from the political affiliations, right? I think for someone like you, how do you
Yeah.
even navigate that environment?
Um
Considering there's also
I
traffic
guess
on the road that kind of stifles um, movement and productivity. Like, how do you even begin to navigate that environment?
yeah, number one, if that's part of what it is to be an entrepreneur. Once you're in it, you're in it. You can't just sit down and complain about everything going on. You have to find a way around
These
these
problems.
issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you just need to be smart about it. And definitely, okay, like you're running a business and you're not using all the money that you're using to run your business is not basically you funded by yourself. Whether you have investors or you have a facility with a bank to give you maybe an overdraft
Along.
facility or a loan or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's yeah. So basically, we have some facilities with the bank, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that helps us to an extent, to in terms
Mm.
of having funds to do some of these basic in terms of getting some raw materials in stock and all that kind of thing.
We will be right back.
So you were talking about facilities with the bank.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, I was just saying, yeah. So it's basically an investment. Okay, basically my dad made an investment into my business, and that's why I can actually run the business, and also we have
Mm-hmm.
some backups from here and there, in terms of bank
Mm-hmm.
facility and all of that. So that's basically what has assisted in terms of um, helping out in the day-to-day running of the business and all that kind of thing. And
Mm-hmm.
in terms of okay, I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember what was it I wanted to say. So basically raw materials and power supply. Yeah, you just have to make an investment. If you're a manufacturer, you don't have a choice. You must have a generating set. There's no. Those are
Yeah.
some of the things you have to factor when you say you want to start a business. Even if you're just a tailor that is just sewing someone's dress or doing amends or
Right.
whatever it is, you still need a generating set to a
Right.
small generating set to power your sewing machine. So so it's
So
become a necessity.
the generator is a huge investment in Nigeria. The diesel, maintain the generator, that sort of thing. Like a lot of money goes into that, obviously.
A lot,
Yeah.
and
As
you know,
as a startup, how many generators do you run? Because I can imagine that a manufacturing plant needs a lot of power.
yeah, it depends on the kind of business you're running. If
Yeah.
you are doing heavy manufacturing, then you need to get a heavy power duty generator. But if you're
Yes.
doing something like you're just doing tailoring or whatever it is, then you can get a smaller generating set and all of that. So it's a given, whichever form of business, whether it's a high manufacturing, and that's why I said manufacturing in Nigeria is extremely just like if you look at the major big manufacturing firms in Nigeria, you find out that a lot of them are not Nigerian owned. They are whether
Yeah.
Lebanese owned, Indian owned, Chinese owned, because the amount of investment needed to run
Millions.
those
Yeah.
machines, it's billions of naira. So an
Mm.
average Nigerian does not have all those millions or billions of naira to say that they are investing. So the people that can do it are the Indians, the Lebanese, who have their government supporting them, giving them funds to even say they will start up a business in a foreign country and all that kind of thing. So
Right. Right.
that's so that's a that's a major challenge for Nigerian manufacturing firms.
So here's a question. So what keeps you going?
Well,
Because based on what I've heard so far, it's not only difficult, it's almost most people can do it. But it's also bringing in your personality. You're playful. I think you sound like a natural entrepreneur. I suppose, and you don't want to see. Of course, I'm sure you probably don't want to answer to anyone really. But Nigeria is a tough environment. What keeps you
extremely.
going? Yeah.
Um. Okay. Number one. Maybe also when I was going into business, a couple of things I didn't think about. But number
Mm,
one, I already find myself inside of it, so I have to make a
mm,
success of it, whichever ways.
mm,
And even beyond that, we someone like me, I want to make a difference in
mm,
the little way I can.
yeah.
I feel that for a nation like ours, and that's why we are having the challenges we are having in this country, because we don't have any form of income coming in apart from the oil that we export. Basically, apart from that, and agriculture, which people like now, the government is really investing into agriculture. Beyond
That's
that,
good.
there's no form of income coming into the country, and someone that I want to make a difference in whatever little way I can. And
Right.
I'm one of those I'm an engineer. I'm someone that wants to make a difference, and I don't want to always be dependent on bringing things from abroad. I feel there are some things that I can, as an individual, I know God has given me the intellect, God has given me the skills to be able to do it. So I'm like, why are we importing these things from abroad? These are things that can be made here in Nigeria. So one also wants
Absolutely.
support.
Absolutely.
Let us make things in Nigeria. We cannot forever be dependent on importation and all of that. So those are some of the things that drive us,
So
that want to make a difference and support the nation and make a difference, basically.
right, right. So we all know Nigeria has a lot of difficulties politically,
Yeah,
and that kind of affects every facet of life for the regular Nigerian. Tola
yeah,
about an entrepreneur who's trying to make a difference. The idea that we still import a lot of these things, like I said, 90% is ridiculous. Um, and I know that a lot of the reasons why we're not able to do a lot of those things ourselves in Nigeria is because of the political system. I don't want to go too much into
definitely.
that, but what is but on a fairly high level, what are the sort of things that prevent us from going? Okay, we have gold in some state. We can
Yeah,
extract that and manufacture. We have tin. We have copper. We have a lot of raw materials, right? What is
yeah.
preventing us from tapping into those things and manufacturing them ourselves,
Uh,
extracting them ourselves, and then going through the process of manufacturing? What's going on?
okay, so basically, I think the major thing is if you want to, just like if you want to mine gold, you want to mine tin, you want
Mm,
to basically do all these activities. Reality is that it's a lot of investment that is going to go into that.
mm,
It's not so much we don't have the technical know-how, but
mm,
reality is that, as one has said, the government is not supporting us.
mm.
I guess in developed nations, you have the bank. I mean, the government is supporting, encouraging people to be entrepreneurs. They are making funds available. Once they know you are a
I'm
qualified person,
serious.
you actually
Exactly.
have the technical know-how in terms of carrying out these activities. The government is going to support you because a lot of all these things are capital intensive, and an
Yeah.
average Nigerian is not going to have that capital to invest in doing those kind of things. And that's why I also mentioned earlier, you see that the big manufacturing firms are Indian owned, Lebanese owned, Chinese owned. So
Mm,
these are people that have governments that are supporting them to go into some form of manufacturing. But in Nigeria, you don't really have that. So in
mm.
order, yeah, you might have all the brilliance, intelligence to go about it, but you don't have the government supporting you to do that. So that's a
So
major challenge. And
so,
yeah,
you say the government is not supporting. So I understand that the government isn't creating, let's say, startup loan funds, that sort of thing. They're not investing practically. Um, is there some sort of hindrance as well? Is there something that's saying, you know what, you have to go through these hoops in order to be able to make a success of this in terms of extracting gold, for instance? Like, is there
yeah.
something that's that? Is there like a barrier? Is there like a deliberate barrier that prevents someone like you, for instance, from saying, I want to control my supply chain?
Um, I think basically I'll go back to it. Even though, if to be fair, I know I see on television and I read the newspaper, and it seems is to me it seems like, and yeah, right now the government is. I think the government is making a little bit of effort to support entrepreneurs right now,
Mm-hmm,
and they've started making some form of funds available.
mm-hmm,
But reality is that, for me, what is being made available is still definitely not enough. And
mm-hmm,
reality is that sometimes, even if you want to access these funds, there is still some politics that is being played in it. Before you can get
mm-hmm.
funds, really, ideally, you should be able to just file, give them, these are my documents, and by the time they see that you have the credentials to actually carry out these activities and stuff like that, the loan or the money should be made available to you. But reality is
Mm,
that there are still people within the system that are still
mm,
cutting out of those funds. And okay, you want to get this loan, you have to give me some out of, okay, when you get this loan, you're going to give me a percentage of the loan that is made available to you, and all that kind
yeah,
of thing. So it's
right.
it's 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 really messed up. And as I said, if I should be fair, I know I see a lot on TV and on newspapers and stuff like that, that the government is supporting, but reality is that in
It's not
terms of
real.
if we should put scale of what we should do, the
Mm,
funds definitely are not nearly enough. And as I said, in order to even access these funds, a lot of times it's extremely difficult to access these funds. And as I said, if you want to mine gold, probably you're going to need the kind of equipment you're going to need to mine the gold. You're going to also need to get laborers. You're going to need to get people that are going to work for you. It's going to go into millions and probably not millions, billions of naira. So
mm,
even
mm,
if I have the goodwill of, oh, I want to cut down on the supply chain. I don't want to be importing stuff from abroad. How much
mm,
capital do I have in order to start up this supply chain? It just okay. There's a there's something which we are doing now. We make use of we make use of belts. We used to buy belts from the market, but now we got a machine that actually produces the belt. So now we don't buy the belts from the market again. We
mm.
manufacture the belt. So we have caught having to go to the market to say we are going to go and buy that particular item for production and
Item.
all of that.
Yeah.
So the
Right.
little way we can do it, once the funds are available, we definitely will try and cut down on in terms of having to import these things directly from abroad or get it from the local market. But as I said, the major problem is that these things are highly capital intensive, and that kind of funds is not available to someone like myself at the moment.
Mm, mm. Um, so you mentioned marketing, you mentioned sales.
Yeah.
Um, those are almost luxuries in a country like Nigeria because I think if you have a lot of barriers even to manufacturing itself, like where does the marketing come in and how have you been able to incorporate all those back end activities into your business? You know, like marketing, sales, HR. Like how have you been able to manage those processes um,
Uh,
in your
yeah.
8 years?
So
And as an engineer, do you
I'll be
enjoy doing
saying
those things?
yeah, it's fun for me. A lot of these challenges come out as something. I like being challenged as a human being. I'm not someone that just likes things, the status quo and all of that. So I like challenges. So yeah, so it's something I had to learn along the way. As I mentioned earlier before, when I started my business, I was thinking it was all about the technical aspects of business, but I found out that there are many other areas which one needs to navigate and learn. So basically, I had to start deliberately learning a lot of stuff that obviously I did not learn in the university, and nobody taught me. And when you are into business, when you're into manufacturing, there are a lot of things that nobody's going to teach you. You're just going to have you to use your common sense and navigate
Mm,
around some challenges you meet. So basically, it's all about learning, and very importantly, at least at this moment, we thank God for social media. We thank God for the internet and all of
mhm,
that. So the internet is really helping in terms of saying your marketing, you're letting people know about what you do and stuff like that. So basically, one tries to make use of the internet to basically make one's business known to everybody around, and yeah. So basically, we make use of the online platform to make ourselves known, and also you still do word of mouth marketing and all that kind of thing. So yeah, I think
mm.
that's basically it. So you
Oh,
approach people, you let people know at least if you have a website, if you have an Instagram page,
yeah.
you can contact people and say, okay, this is what we do. And one area of marketing which we in particular are using, especially in terms of the packaging arm of the business, we target people that we know are into basically we target people that we know need our products. So we
Yes.
basically just maybe contact them, we message them and say, okay, guy, we do so and so and so. We want to show you what we can do. And basically, we
Mm.
don't mind making a free sample for you.
We will be right back.
You were talking about providing free samples for
Yeah,
for
potential
customers.
customers to show
Exactly.
credibility and all that kind of thing. And we are sure that what we produce, the quality is like really on point. So they're sure that by the time the potential client sees what they get, they are impressed with what they get. And again, they
Mm,
didn't really believe that, oh, we're actually legit. And within a few days of we saying we are going to do a free samples, you actually get a free sample. So you've gained someone's confidence, and then people are willing to do business with you. So those are one of the strategies we are using in terms of marketing and stuff like that.
interesting. Who are your end customers? Like, do you do primarily business to business, or do you also sell directly to the mass market?
We basically do business to business. We target businesses. Right now in Nigeria, there are a lot of businesses that are springing up, and a lot of people have started going into shoemaking in terms of
Hmm.
manufacturing shoes. Yeah, we still import shoes and stuff like that, but there are many Nigerians that are into making shoes now, and actually. Reality is that the quality of what they are actually producing, some people is actually really on point. So there are a lot of people that are
Hmm.
making shoes right now. A lot of people that are making suits. A lot of people
Mm.
are making suits. A lot of people are making outfits. You know, in Nigeria, we love to party. There's always one event or the other. There's
Right.
always one wedding or the other. So, like every weekend, someone is getting married. So, the indication of that is someone is buying a suit.
Hmm.
Um, since there's always a party, whether a wedding party or a 50th birthday party, people are
Mm.
going to the tailor saying that they want to make a nice outfit that they wear for that event and all of that. So a lot of people are into making outfits in terms of using our own Nigerian fabric or our own African fabric, use all the African fabric to make wares that they can use for the party. So a lot of people are into making garments and basically outfits that you use for events, wedding parties, birthday parties, and all that kind of thing. So that's another area of business that is springing up.
Mm.
And yeah, people are importing stuff, jewelry, wristwatches, and selling. So for
Mm.
us, we target such businesses like those that are making suits. We target them and tell them, oh, we can make suit carrier bags for you. Because in
Interesting.
Nigeria, there's nobody that actually, reality is that nobody actually manufactures suit bags in Nigeria. So basically,
Hmm.
they are more like the only one. The ones that they get it from the market. People either import a suit bag from abroad or they buy it from the market. That people You have people that import suit bags and they get it from China and all these other countries. So when they
Right.
get them, it's either you just buy the suit bag and you sell your suits inside such suit bags unbranded, or you
Mm.
buy the suit bag, then you have to start looking for which printer can actually print it for kind of thing. But what we do is that we don't import suit bags. We actually manufacture the suit bags. And the cool part about what we do is that the suit bags that are actually in the market, they are just of a particular design and they have different qualities. And a lot of them are actually, the quality is actually not that much on point. But since we actually produce it, number one, the raw material we are using is good for the
Hmm.
suit bag. We come up with different designs and stuff like that. So that's something you're not going to get in the market. And those are one of our selling points. If you buy a
Mm.
suit bag in the market, you might get it in white or blue or black. You're
Yeah.
limited. But we actually have different colors. We play with people's brand colors. Your brand is is whether green or blue or whatever it is. We
Mm.
automatically, once we get your logo, once we get your details, we know the kind of, most likely this is the kind of color that will match your brand and all that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
we are adding value. We are not just doing one kind of suit bags. We come up with different designs from time to time and all of that.
Mm.
So we are giving people options and we do it. And again, what we do when we target when we approach a business, we try and make it as easy for the business as possible. Number one, you don't have to really come to meet us. You don't have to come to our factory and say, okay, I want to make an order. Once you
Mm.
either contact us or we contact you, what we try to do, we try to ensure that we are giving people an experience. So basically, you are saying, oh, I want a suit bag. I just say, okay, send me your logo and I would make a sample for you. You see the sample, you like it, and we deliver to you. We deliver the sample to you. When we produce
Mm.
the suit bags for you, we deliver to you. So basically, You don't have to move outside of your home or outside of your office. All you need to do
Right.
is to contact us and say, okay, this is what I want. And we go out of our way to get everything to you. So you don't have to stress yourself in any way, whether to come to a factory to pick up your goods, or whether it is that you want to do some form of consultation, especially if you have an idea or something like that. What we do, we actually go and meet you wherever you are. We go and
Mm.
have a meeting with you. Okay, this is what you want, and we have a discussion. Then basically, we are basically providing a service to you, so you don't have to stress yourself. All you need to tell us is what you want, or a lot of times people don't really know what they want. We come up with ideas for them. You have no
Right.
ideas.
Right.
Oh, I just want a shoe bag. I don't know how it would be. So we would use our own creative parts to create something that we feel will be appropriate for the customer. We give it to them, and they're like, "Oh, wow, this is really nice," and everything. I didn't even think it would come out this way, and all that kind of thing. So
Sure.
basically, yeah, that's
Sure. Okay.
that.
So I mean, so it sounds like you have a lot of differentiating factors there. That so for
Ye-
one thing, I think you're one of the few manufacturers that are doing certain uh one of the few manufacturers that are actually creating a good customer experience. I can imagine. I think you're
Definitely.
also one of the few manufacturers that are using good raw materials. Um, where do you see all this going? So what's the grand vision for the business? Because I know, of course, like you say, you want to make a difference, and you can do
Yeah,
that obviously by creating jobs. You can do that
yeah,
by making Nigeria even like a mega manufacturing hub because we have all the natural resources, and
yeah.
because you're also learning along the way, and you are creating value. You know the points of creating value for your customers. I think that kind of makes you stand out, so to
Yeah.
speak. But what is the long term vision for your journey?
The long term vision is we plan to be a a business that would sort out all the packaging issues anybody has in Nigeria. Like, okay,
Mm,
one area is okay. I noticed basically if you're a manufacturer, you have to provide and you have to produce what people actually need. It's not just, oh, I like this, I like to produce this and I'm producing it. If you don't have a market, if you don't have people that are willing to buy it, then you have a problem. You create great products, but you don't have a market, you don't have people that are willing to buy. So basically what we're doing is okay, like now, one aspect is I noticed that there are a lot of people right now in Nigeria, a lot of people are selling human hair, people are selling wigs, people are
weeks, yeah,
selling basically attachments. We in
right,
Nigeria, the females, either you're wearing a wig or you're doing some form of attachment and all of.
right.
We will be right back.
Yeah, so those are some of our challenges. Yeah. So do I continue from where I stopped?
Yeah, just go ahead. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So people are importing human hair and wigs from whether Brazil, China, Mongolia, or wherever it is, and all of that. So people are
Mm-hmm.
selling these wigs, and one just felt okay. I've seen what they use to sell these wigs and stuff like that. So we decided that okay, let's make a form of packaging for these wigs. We
Right.
feel that they can be sold in a more attractive way. So we've come up with some designs of wig
Mm,
bags, and now we are trying to sell that proposition to people that are selling wigs. That okay, we can actually help your business differentiate itself from others, and we are making some
exactly.
nice packaging to sell your wigs and all of that, and it's all going to be branded and all of that. So it's not just you're selling someone else's product. No, you're actually selling your own thing and all of that. So what our vision is basically, or our vision at least at the moment right now, is to help businesses all around, small businesses especially. When we travel outside of Nigeria, you go to shops, you go to different places, and you have some nice customer experience. You're buying you're buying something from a clothing brand and it's coming in one nice they give you a nice shopping bag and all that kind of thing. It gives you
Mm.
this kind of nice feel, nice experience and stuff like that. You
Exactly.
buy
Exactly.
something from a JC Penney, you buy something from Tommy Hilfiger, and they give you some nice branded bags and stuff like that. So, as I
Right.
said, a lot of people are going into different sort of businesses, and what we are trying to do, we are trying to make packaging for all these different kind of businesses springing up all around in Nigeria. So we are trying to say, okay, you are producing this. How can we create a nice packaging for your brand? How can we make you look professional? How can we bring the foreign feel into Nigeria that when you buy something from Nigeria, you're not buying it in a poly bag, in a nylon bag. They just put inside the nylon bag and maybe they can print your company name on it and it's looking so rough and all that kind of thing. We're trying to make small businesses that you don't have to be a big business before you look professional. They're trying to
Absolutely.
help businesses look professional and give them a class, give them a feel that even by the time you're own charging, you're making good stuff, but you know how it is in Nigeria. If you're not importing something from abroad, people will say, it's made in Nigeria, so why is your own
Yeah.
price this
There's no
expensive? But you, yeah,
there's no
but
real appreciation
yeah,
for what's going
exactly.
on within the country itself. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you're
and
basically
right
trying to
now,
challenge that notion, basically.
exactly. And right now, people in Nigeria are actually some people are really doing some really great stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
we don't want to undervalue what they are doing. Really, you should be able to
Absolutely.
charge, especially as I said, with the expenses you're going to make in terms of manufacturing. It costs so much, and by the time you're selling your product, we want it to come out and want it to give it that befitting feel of people
Mm.
feeling that okay, I'm not just buying from a roadside tailor on the road and all of that. I'm buying
Mm.
from a big brand, a professional and all that kind of thing. So yeah,
Yeah.
so basically
Some
we're
high
trying to help
quality.
businesses all around. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah,
absolutely.
basically.
Yeah. I mean, because when you think about it, I mean, because having lived in the UK, having lived in Nigeria, I know that there are a lot of positives about the Nigerian system that we overlook. So, for instance, you mentioned the tailor. I mean, anyone can really go to the tailor in Nigeria and get a suit sewn, a native outfit sewn, children's school uniform sewn. Exactly. So, people are very enterprising in Nigeria, and there's always a market for someone who has a great idea or has a good skill. So I think it's
Yeah,
pretty cool that I think so. I think the service that you offer is obviously the let's say it's almost the presentation, which is
yeah,
what matters really exactly. Because if you have a good skill but you can't package it or present it in the right way, um, people are going to, especially like the way Nigerians are, we tend to, like I said, undervalue what we truly have, and
yeah,
we look to the left, we look to the right, anything but home. You know what I mean? So
yeah, yeah,
I think what
yeah,
you're doing is
yeah,
pretty cool. Um, I was going to do the poem analysis, but I think we've touched on so many subjects that I think it would be exhaustive to try to analyze the poem because that can go on for a while. And I know you don't like to read, so I think that's probably I'm sure that's music to your ears, probably. um, but the name of your business. What's the name of your business?
light bulb, light bulb. We have the name is Light Bulb Group. So we have
Yeah.
as if I remember, I mentioned we do quite a number of things. So there's
Mm-hmm.
an arm that is into nail construction, nail manufacturing. There's
Mm-hmm.
also another arm that is into making packaging. There's also
Mm-hmm.
another arm that actually produces products. So basically, the name is Light Bulb
Yeah.
Group. So we have
Yeah.
the light bulb engineering, we have the light bulb packaging, we have the light bulb concepts. Yeah.
Mm. That's pretty cool. So you have an Instagram link as well, an Instagram
Yeah.
page.
We have an
What is it?
Instagram page, Light Bulb NG.
NG. Cool.
Light Bulb NG. Then we have LBNG Concepts.
Okay. And your
Yeah.
website?
www.lightbulbng.com.
Cool. Because I think it's good to be able to highlight all those things because I think if people who hear this are interested in what you're doing, or just curious, as they know where to
Yeah,
go. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I think
So
I think it will. Sorry,
no,
sorry
go
to
on.
cut you. I think it would be best if they want to really know what we're doing, let them just check the Instagram pages. I think that's where you see most of what we are
The most
producing and
activity,
stuff like
the
that.
most activity.
Yeah, most
Right,
like
right, right.
yeah, exactly.
Cool, cool.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Michael. I think this
no
was brilliant.
problem. It's been a
Yeah,
pleasure. It's been nice talking to you. Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. I hope you enjoyed the talk.
definitely, definitely.
The future seems to be in good hands, and I say that just because of what I've heard. I think it's important to kind of highlight what's the effort that's going into making Nigeria generally a better place, but also to
Yeah,
highlight the talent that exists in Nigeria, right? So
yeah,
uh, I'm not an evangelist in that sense, but I like to believe that there's a lot going on.
yeah,
There's a lot of activity, and it's good to highlight such things. I think that's good for international audience as well, because I mean the idea of investing in Nigeria almost seems a little more plausible now,
yeah,
despite all the
definitely.
exactly, because if they know, oh, Michael Makanjuola is a manufacturer, he cares about this, and this, he has this grand vision, and he's able to execute
Yeah,
properly, then it makes it easier and more feasible for international listeners to or investors
investors.
to
Yeah,
go, okay, let's look at this a little bit closer, So
yeah.
yeah, but thank you so much for agreeing to the interview. I think
No
that's awesome.
problem. It's been a pleasure. It's been nice talking to you. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.